Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a hybrid Sudoku variant on our channel. So this Sudoku I constructed for patrons of my Patreon page Enthralling Sudoku, where I give nearly 45 plus Sudokus every month to all my patrons. So these Sudokus contain some 20 classics and some 9 by 9 variants and some 6 by 6 variants. So altogether there are nearly 45 Sudokus, and so every month they get in a e-magazine PDF booklet where you have online solving links, solutions of the Sudokus as well. So this was one of the Sudoku from the September month, and I got a request from one of our patrons on how to actually solve this Sudoku. So the tips regarding this Sudoku and the intended solve path of this Sudoku, right? So I was happy with this construction particularly because it was really a nice one, and it was actually a smooth solve, and I didn't expect it to be such a nice one. So let's try and solve this Sudoku. Sorry. So before going to the Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on regular basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, you can let us know in the comment below and we'll surely make a video on it. And if you are looking forward to such handcrafted Sudokus of the Enthralling Sudoku Patreon page, I would highly recommend you to subscribe to the Patreon page as well for Enthralling Sudoku, and as well as we have a Patreon page on Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles YouTube channel. I'll add the link in the description below. Now coming back to this Sudoku, so let's see what are the rules of this Sudoku. First thing is classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition. Apart from that, you have a consecutive pairs here, so these two digits and these two digits would be consecutive. Not all pairs are given, right? The next thing is the German whisper lines. So the digits, adjacent digits on each line will have at least a difference of 5. Sorry, yeah. So that is what is German whisper rule. And at the end you have a magic square rule. So out of the 9 3 into 3 box, exactly there are 3 such boxes which acts as a magic square. So what is a magic square? Some of these 3 digits, so let us assume if this is a magic square, some of these 3 digits is equal to some of these 3 digits is equal to some of these 3 digits. Same way it goes with the vertical line and then 2 diagonal lines. Sum of all these digits is same. So if these 3 sum is 11, then the sum of these 3 would also be 11, and sum of these 3 also would be 11, right? So that is what is a magic square Sudoku. And so out of these 9 boxes, exactly 3 boxes are magic square, and it is up to the solver to find which ones are the magic square, right? With just very few clues, this Sudoku is unique. So let's see if we are able to crack this Sudoku or not. So when I wanted to create this Sudoku, the first thing that I knew was, in a magic square 5 would always be in the middle cell of a box. So that is how actually a magic square is constructed within a box without any repeaters. So when I know that inside a box the whole box is a magic square, the numbers won't repeat, and in that case 5 would always have to be in the middle cell, right? So when I knew that I had to start with a magic square, I knew one more thing was that German whisper line can never have a 5 on the line, right? So that was also a very good start for me to design this Sudoku. So I know that a German whisper line will never have a 5 on the line, and using that trick and using the magic square constraint, I directly eliminated that these 3 boxes cannot be magic square, right? So these 3 boxes can never be a magic square because 5 would always have to be in the middle, and this is a German whisper line here. So this cannot be a 5, this cannot be a 5, this cannot be a 5, right? Now we know that there are exactly there are exactly 6 more boxes where you can have 3 magic square, and the only way to fulfill exactly 3 magic squares within the 6 box with 5 being in the middle cell, there's only one way to do that, and of course this cannot be the 5, then you'll have only one more magic square remaining, so this is not the one. and you have exactly 5 more boxes, and the only way to fulfill the 5 boxes with the magic square is these 3 boxes. So all these 3 boxes would have to be the magic square and 5 would have to be in the middle. In magic square, if you actually focus on how a magic square is constructed, with some eliminations you would be able to find that these 4 cells will always be odd, these 4 cells will also always be even, right? So when I know that 5 is in the middle, the opposite 2 digits for the 5, so when you have 5, the opposite 2 digits, the top and bottom or left and right or diagonally opposite digits, will always have sum as 10, right? So the sum of these 2 digits would have to be 10, sum of these 2, sum of these 2, and sum of these 2. So that is, you have exactly 4 ways to do that: 19, 28, 37 and 46. And in that case, if you just try to do some work here, you will get to know that these 4 digits will always have to be odd in a magic square, 1 3 9 7, and these 4 always would have to be even, right? I can easily say you why is that, because let us assume you have a 1 here, let us assume you have an odd here, right? You have a 1 here, then sum of these 2 digits would have to be 14 to make it 15, and sum of these 2 digits would have to be again 14 to make the sum 15. And of course it is not possible, because one of the possibility of a 14 which has a 5 is already eliminated. So the 2 possibilities for 14 is 9 5 and 8 6, and 5 is eliminated, so 1 can never be on the corner. And using that trick, you can actually find that all the odd numbers would have to be on the orthogonal side and all the even numbers would have to be on the diagonal side. So now we got to know that these 3 are the magic squares, right? Now I know that 1 cannot be here, so if 1 is not here, 9 also won't be here, because the sum would have to be 10. Same way, if 9 is here, 9 is eliminated from here, 1 is also eliminated from here, because I know that sum would have to be 10. So I can directly write now 1 9 would have to be here, 3 7 would have to be here, same way 3 7 would have to be here, 1 9 would have to be here. And that 8 eliminates 8 from this cell, so 8 would have to be in one of these 2 cells, so 9 cannot be here. To get the sum, so the sum will always be same, and that has to be 15, because in a box the sum of 9 numbers is 45 and divide by 3 gives you a 15 here. So sum of these 3 digits, these 3 and even the diagonal ones will always have to be 15. So when you know that 8 has to be in one of these 2 cells, this can never be a 9, so this is 1 and a 9, and 8 is in one of these 2 cells, so the other digit would have to be 6 to make it 15, right? So 2 and 4 can be eliminated here, 6 can be eliminated here. Same way, when 8 is not here, 8 is here, 9 would have to be here, the same logic that we are applying here, then which means 6 and 8 cannot be here, and 2 and 4 cannot be here. This cell cannot be a 1 and this cell cannot be a 9, right? So we got our magic squares, but we have to fill the numbers yet, and let's see if we are able to continue here. The next part of the logic was much more amazing here, much more interesting actually. So if you see, 4 and 6 on a German whisper line is only possible when the adjacent digit can be 9 and 1 respectively, right? So for example, if you have a 4 here, this cell will always have to be a 9 if you have the 4, and in a straight line, not in a diagonal line, I would say in a straight line, 4 can never be in the middle line, and in the middle cell of the German whisper line, 4 and 6, right, both. So if you have a 4 here, this will always have to be a 9, and if you have a 6 here, this would always have to be a 1. But as you can see here, these cells can never have 1 and 9 on the German whisper line, because 1 and 9 is already used here in this and in this box, which means both 4 and 6 can never be on the German whisper line in this row and column. So which means these 4 cells would have to be 4 and 6 for the row, for the column and for the row, right? Now you have 2 3 7 and 8 remaining in these both rows and columns. You have a quadruplet here. Now you found the hidden pair, which is 4 and 6, and that gives you a quadruplet of 2, 3, 7 and 8. So at this point, after a bit research on German whispers, so if you have solved too many German whispers, you will know that when you eliminate 4 and 6, so when you have only 4 numbers in a straight line with 2, 3, 7, 8, 3 and 7 can never be in the middle line, in the middle cell. So for what happens if you have a 3 here? What are the next two adjacent digits that will have the difference of 5 at least? One would have to be an 8 anywhere, and one would have to be the 7, but 7 can never be near a 3 in the German whisper line because the difference is only 4 here. So both 3 and 7 can never be in the middle, so which means the corner digits would have to be 3 and 7. Same here, the 3 and 7 can never be in the middle cell, right? Because if this is 3 or 7, these both cells will have a contradiction with the difference of 5, right? So yeah, now okay, what is the next logic here is, let's see. Okay, now again comes the interesting part of this Sudoku. This is one of my favorite logic in this Sudoku. So using this logic, you actually are able to complete this Sudoku, and this was really amazing. So if you see here, the moment we find that 3 and 7 will have to be in the corners, for this magic square, you know that one of the adjacent cells would have to be 3 and 7, other would have to be 1 and 9. These cannot be 3 and 7 now, because then you will have nothing here. So which means this would have to be 1 and 9, this would have to be 3 and 7, right? So this is 1 and 9, this is 3 and 7, so this gets eliminated, 3 and 7 here. You have a 2 8 pair here, so 2 8 pair also gets eliminated. You have a 3 and 7 here, and now when you have a 9 here, these two digits would have to be 2 and 4, and these two digits would have to be 6 and 8. And that completes this Sudoku actually. So there is one more tricky part in the end here, that is also actually really amazing. But if you see here, this 2 and 4 pair gives you an 8 here, that gives you a 3 and a 2 here, that gives you 7, 2, 8 and a 3 here, right? And that 6 8 gives you a 4 here, 6, a 4 and a 6 here. That 6 gives you an 8 and a 6 here. That 8 gives you a 3 and a 4 here. To complete the magic square, you have a 2 and a 7. So we have completed one magic square. We are on a verge to complete the second magic square as well. So if you see here, we have completed the second magic square, and then now we have the third magic square here, which is also done here. So a 7 can never have an 8 on the adjacent cell in a magic square, so this would have to be 6. That gives you a 4 here, that gives you 2 and here 8. So we have found all our magic squares on the grid. As you can see here, if you count all the, so 4 plus 3 plus 8 is 15, this is also 15, this is also 15, the sum here is 15, 15, 15, and the diagonals will always be 15. So now we have got the magic square. Amazing, right? So now let's see how we can complete this Sudoku. So these two digits, one of these two digits would have to be even. 8 and 6 is not possible, it would have to be 2 and 4. So with 2 and 4, the consecutive digits would have to be 1, 3 and 5. 1 is already used, so 2, 3, 4 and 5. 3, 5 and 2 is used here, so this would have to be 4. That gives you 3 and 5 here, right? So again we can do the same thing here. 8 and 6 is used. 2 and 4 would have to be one of the even digits, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is already used, so 2, 3, 4 and 5. You have 3, 5 here, so 3, 5 will get eliminated from here, and 2, 4 will get eliminated from here. Because if this is even, this would have to be odd. 2 here, 2 here. So now we can use the classic rule and complete some of the parts of this Sudoku here. 7 and 9 would have to be in one of these 3 cells. This cell is an 8 here. Okay, and now gives you an 8 here. Okay, this cell would have to be, one of these two cells would have to be 6, and one of these two cells would have to be 3. Okay, let us not see that for now. Let us complete this. Okay, 1 5 8 and 9. 8 cannot be here, so this is 8. 1 5 and 9 in any order here. You're not sure of the order, right? And then 1 5 9 and 4. 4, if this is a 4, this would always have to be a 9, and you already have a 9 here. So this is not a 4, this is not a 4, this is not a 4, so this is a 4 here. That gives you a 4 here. 2 6 and 9 in any order, so this is 2 6 and 9. Okay, that gives you a 6 here, that gives you a 4 here, that gives you 2 and a 3 here. So we have done our consecutive pass logic as well. So now this is a 7, that is 1 5 and 9 in any order. Again 1 5 and 9, 5 will never be on the German whisper line, so this is 1 and 5, right? Oh, so this is 1 and 5, you already have 1 and 9 here. This is what this would have to be a 5 here, and this is a 5 here. This cell cannot be a 5. Okay, 3 7 and 6 here, so this is 6 7 and a 3 here, that gives you a 5 here, and you have 7 and a 5, so this is 7, that is a 5, and that gives you a 9 here. 1 3 and 7, right? It can be anywhere, so this is 1, and these two cells are 6 and 9, so this is 6, that is 9 here, so that eliminates 9 from this cell. You have 1 5 and 3, 5, this is 1 3 1, this is 3 and 5, so that is 3 and a 7 here, right? 3 and a 7. Now if you see here, what is this? 1 3 and 7, 3, this is 1 and a 7 here. Now if you see here, both these, so these two cells are on German whisper line, right? Has German whisper, which means the difference would have to be at least 5, and which means one of the cell would have to be a 1, and that eliminates 1 from this cell, so this would have to be a 9, and that actually completes this Sudoku. 1 7 9, that 7 gives you a 3 here and a 7 here, that 1 here, a 5 here and a 1 here, a 3 here and a 5 here, and with that we complete this amazing hybrid Sudoku. So this was one of my favorite hybrid Sudokus from September month. I really enjoyed creating this with the smooth flow of logic, and if you are really looking forward to such handcrafted Sudokus, I do appreciate, please subscribe to the Patreon page of Enthralling Sudoku, and as well as I would appreciate if you could subscribe to the Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles Patreon page. We have been covering videos for more than 3 years now, and we have more than 900 videos on our channel, and it's not an easy thing to do so. We know the hard work behind this. We would really appreciate if you could subscribe to our Patreon page and Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles as well. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.